Texas, but I grew up in Arkansas and went to college in Arkansas and then moved to Boston after college.
So pretty much right out of college you came to Boston?
Yes.
Okay. But while you were in Arkansas, you went out to there was, one bar where you lived, right?
I think so. There was one main club bar called Discovery in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Discovery, okay. So that's where you first started going out to bars.
Yes, and I went basically 10 minutes after I turned 21.
So you never tried to get in there when you were under 21?
No.
Okay. So you turned 21, you went to Discovery, and what were your impressions of the clientele, the music, all that stuff?
The clientele was a real mix of everyone, ages, all kinds of different people in the community. I guess everybody went there.
Right.
And there was one room for drag shows, which were really cool. That was probably my first time seeing real drag shows like that.
Right.
And I remember the dance, I remember the big song then was Pride, A Deeper Love.
Okay, not...
In 94, that's when...
Yeah, okay, that would be... Yeah. So that was a big song, and it was all kind of vocal house music.
Yes.
Pretty commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it was good.
Right. So was that where you first got the inkling that you might want to DJ, or did it take longer for that to develop?
I did. I had always wanted to DJ. I had already DJed before that, though.
Right.
And I'd done. I guess the very first time I DJed live for people was my sophomore year of college, DJing an '80s dance. Kind of a campus-wide 80s dance.
Oh, right.
Because I had been collecting a lot of 80s vinyl just for the fun of it, and it was, it's very cheap, like $1 a record.
Right.
But after accumulating some of it, I wanted to play it somewhere, and so I, along with my friends, we organized this dance thinking it might just be us, but it would be fun. But it ended up being kind of the whole campus coming.
Right. And what kind of equipment were you using?
Turntables from... Did we work from the radio station? I'm not sure. There were 2 turntables and a mixer. It was pretty basic.
But there was no real... you weren't really concerned about beat matching or anything?
No, I didn't know. I had no clue about beat matching.
So you were just transitioning from record to record?
Yes.
Which is probably fine for that kind of a...
It was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But now, what did you learn from doing that kind of a party? I mean, do you remember learning anything about that was useful later on?
Crowd pleasing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just, playing certain songs and getting... or also trusting your instincts about what you think people would love to hear, what would surprise them. And I think I still use that today. I think, what would I want to hear going out to a club, and what would be a surprise to me? Right. A lot of people go out and they have 5 songs they want to hear every place they go, it seems.
Right.
I actually like being... And I do too, I guess, but I really like being surprised also, maybe equally. With some other friends of mine that DJ, because we're constantly looking for new music, we get music and we play it, but we might play it at a time when no one knows it yet. But there have been, especially a few songs like an Icona Pop,
right.
I love it, where we played that, a year before anyone knew it. Right. So the next summer, everyone wants to hear it. Meanwhile, we're just tired of that song.
Right, right.
But it's, it's for them. Right. But it's just kind of funny how that still does happen. You might break a song, but it might not have the context yet for people until they hear it in a car commercial.
Right, right. And then suddenly it's everywhere.
Right. And then they want to hear it again.
Then you find yourself having to play it again. And I think that's always kind of funny to see.
It happens a lot.
It does, yeah. And I think that it's our job to remember that sometimes just because we're sick of a song or because we think it's old, it's not as old to everybody else.
It's not at all.
At all. I mean, the record would be out for a year and we go now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's nothing new. I mean, that's what happened with Missing by Everything But the Girl.
Yeah.
It came out and was completely under the radar, and then it had a Todd Terry remix, and it became huge. It went all over the world. So
right.
That's always been a phenomenon.
Yeah, that's interesting.